Hello friends, this is Psych Times. The beautiful thing about learning is that no one can take it away from you. Today we will learn what psychology is and how is it practical. Psyche is the Greek word for spirit, soul, and breath. Logia is the Greek word for the study of something. Psychology is the study of mental and behavioral processes. Essentially, those who work in the field of psychology try to give meaning to the questions, what makes you tick? And how do you see the world? These very simple ideas encompass many different and complicated topics, including emotions, thought processes, dreams, memories, perception, personality, illness, and treatment. While the roots of psychology date back to the philosophers of ancient Greece, it wasn't until 1879, when German psychologist Wilhelm Wundt created the first laboratory completely devoted to the study of psychology, that the field really began to take off. Since then, psychology has expanded exponentially into a truly diverse science, often overlapping with other types of scientific studies such as medicine, genetics, sociology, anthropology, linguistics, biology, and even subjects like sports, history, and love. So put on your thinking cap, make yourself comfortable, perhaps recline on a couch, and prepare to be enlightened. It's time to start learning about yourself in ways you never knew possible. Whether this content is a refresher course, or you're learning all of this for the very first time, let's begin. Welcome to Psych Times. More generally, psychology is about understanding all the things we do. All of us wonder sometimes about the reasons underlying people's behavior, why it's hard to diet, why we procrastinate about studying, why we fall in love with one person rather than another. We wonder why some people are outgoing while others are shy. We wonder why we sometimes do things that we know will bring us pain and anguish, whether it's clinging to a destructive relationship or losing our tuition money in a game of Texas Hold'em. The study of psychology is about all these things and infinitely more. Many of psychology's questions have implications for people's everyday lives. For me, this is one of the field's major attractions. Psychology is practical. Psychology's early history. Psychology's story is one of people groping toward a better understanding of themselves. As the discipline has evolved, its focus, methods, and explanatory models have changed. Let's look at how psychology has developed from philosophical speculations about the mind into a modern research-based science. The term psychology comes from two Greek words, psyche, meaning the soul, and logos, referring to the study of a subject. These two Greek roots were first put together to define a topic of study in the 16th century, when psyche was used to refer to the soul, spirit, or mind, as distinguished from the body. Boring, 1966. Not until the early 18th century did the term psychology gain more than rare usage among scholars. By that time it had acquired its literal meaning, the study of the mind. Of course, people have always wondered about the mysteries of the mind. In that sense, psychology is as old as the human race. But it was only about 140 years ago that psychology emerged as a scientific discipline. Psychology's intellectual parents were the disciplines of philosophy and physiology. By the 1870s, a small number of scholars in both fields were actively exploring questions about the mind. How are bodily sensations turned into a mental awareness of the outside world? Are our perceptions of the world accurate reflections of reality? How do mind and body interact? The philosophers and physiologists who were interested in the mind viewed such questions as fascinating issues within their respective fields. It was a German professor, Wilhelm Wundt, 1832 to 1920, who eventually changed this view. Wundt mounted a campaign to make psychology an independent discipline rather than a stepchild of philosophy or physiology. Fuchs and Evans, 2013. In 1879, Wundt succeeded in establishing the first formal laboratory for research in psychology at the University of Leipzig. In recognition of this landmark event, historians have christened 1879 as psychology's date of birth. Soon after, in 1881, Wundt established the first journal devoted to publishing research on psychology. All in all, Wundt's campaign was so successful that today he is widely characterized as the founder of psychology. Benjamin, 2014. Wundt's conception of psychology dominated the field for 2 decades, and was influential for several more. Borrowing from his training in physiology, Wundt, 1874, declared that the new psychology should be a science modeled after fields such as physics and chemistry. What was the subject matter of the new science? According to Wundt, it was consciousness, the awareness of immediate experience. Thus, psychology became the scientific study of conscious experience. This orientation kept psychology focused squarely on the mind. But it demanded that the methods used to investigate the mind be as scientific as those of chemists or physicists. Many outstanding scholars came to Leipzig to study under Wundt, and then fanned out around the world, establishing laboratories that formed the basis for the new science of psychology. The growth of this new field was particularly rapid in North America, where some 23 new psychological research labs sprang up between 1883 and 1893 at several universities. Benjamin, 2014. Although psychology was born in Germany, it blossomed into adolescence in North America. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Stay awesome.